Joshua Kahula joins us here. Enough said in the
Aloha.
studio. Maui
Yeah.
is in the house.
Yes.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good, Brother B. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Let's talk about and go back to, first of all, where you grew up on the island of Maui.
I grew up in Makawao, up country, and my family is from Hana side, the east side. And now I currently reside in Lahaina. My wife's family is from Lahaina side. So, yeah, that's my little story as far as habitating.
What school you went to?
I went to Maui High.
Okay, Maui High. Graduated from Maui High.
Yes.
What year you grad?
95.
95. What was life back then for you?
I tell you, it's obviously much easier when you're younger, less worries back then than now. Life was, you've seen so much changes over the years, right? And yeah, it was very carefree.
What kind of music did you grow up listening to?
Oh man, we always had the local island stations on, playing. But it is Ka'au Cradle Boys, Kali'i Rachel, all those, those are just music we grew up with. Along with, you also had the weekend, you had Casey Kasem, and all the top pop hits. And
American Top 40.
Yeah. And then we also, loved the reggae. My mom, she was very musical. She loved her country. She loved her, just music in general. And I attribute a lot of my musical background to her. Just the love for music. And so, yeah, music was a big part of our family.
So, yeah, country, reggae, pop, and Hawaiian all mixed together there.
Yes.
Okay.
A smorgasbord of everything,
So, talk about 2002. Nuff Said, the founding of the group. Talk about that for a couple of minutes.
So we formed Nuff Said. We originally had a band called Ho'omau, and we had some good, success here in the islands with some play on the radio. And after that had finished, four of that original band, four members, including myself, we formed Nuff Said, and we got in the studio. We produced our own album, and it took us a couple of years, but we released our first album in 2004. And at the time, I was, still at the day job. I was working Aloha Airlines. I don't know if you remember that. Aloha Airlines.
Right.
Yeah, and then I also have my other day job, and so we'd write songs, and we put together this album, and we told ourselves that we would make the album for us, music that we felt, we loved, and so long we were happy with it, and that was the main thing, that was the main goal, and it hit the radio stations, and we were fortunate that it just kind of took off from there, and I want to say mahalo to all the radio, everybody who supported Nuff Said, and it just kind of took on this journey of itself, and we never dreamt what would happen with it, but we are very thankful nonetheless.
Nuff Said, with hit songs playing, you guys being able to play concerts, that must have been like one of those things that you never thought but you were able to enjoy?
Yes, definitely. When the opportunity started coming through to travel, and share our music, the only thing I wish back then is I wish I knew then what I know now, But other than that, the experiences were amazing. We got to meet a lot of great people, and it was through music that we were able to put together to write, and it's the music industry is such a wonderful experience that we were able to have, and still able to have. So
I still want to stay in the music side of this for just a little while.
Yeah.
Taking a look at now, you are an established artist, but these days you are working with the Henry Kapono Foundation.
Yes.
Who, of course, he was just here just a couple of hours ago, and he's such an amazing individual. Plus, you and I, we all grew up with the C&K music and the C&K sound, and then Henry's individual sound.
Yeah.
How is it being a part of the Henry Kapono Foundation, and what has that been like for you?
They are such an amazing organization. Like you said, growing up, you have the classics from About You to Life's Different Now, Friends, and it's been a part of my musical journey, singing these songs and to actually be able to work side by side with a mentor, an icon, a legend, and you get to see how even that much more amazing the music is just because he's such a great person. In addition to that, his foundation has really helped many individuals, including myself, in the music industry. Case in point, when the pandemic hit, we got these food line cards. They're like $500. I mean, it felt like I hit the lottery. And then the fires came about, and I was able to be a recipient again. So, got to hit the lottery twice. And it's just amazing how they are really helping to nurture the musical, the artistic values in the next generation. And, I'll forever be grateful and thankful for that.
Um, you are kind of on two sides. I mean, you're getting to benefit from being alongside Henry Kapono as a mentor, but yet you are also a mentor to others too, because you're able to not only receive but also to kind of give as well.
Exactly. It's that give and take, if you will, that aloha spirit. And again, I mentioned about, had I known earlier what I know now, our interactions with, different ones, I try to make sure now, make an effort to make it a positive interaction, whether it be just passing and saying, great job, keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes that's all a person needs to continue on that journey, whatever they may be doing, especially with the music though. If you can encourage them and just share that aloha spirit, and sometimes you don't gotta say nothing, you just gotta hug them in, just right on, and that's all they need. You know what I mean? Just it's really, when it comes from a pono place and you express it with aloha, I mean, it just it's again that interchange I received, and I try to share it with the next person. So
You being a person that comes from Lahaina, you are unique in that you contain memories of the Lahaina that was. Yet you are still trying to help the Lahaina of what will be for future generations. Let's dip into that future. What was Lahaina like for you back in the day?
I have to reference just my kids, because when I try to look through Lahaina through my kids' eyes, because I think that is what really impacts a lot of residents in Lahaina, is growing up in Lahaina. I think of Front Street. I think of the many memories they had cruising with their friends down by the banyan tree, different areas within Lahaina, and it's filled with such rich culture. Not just Hawaiian, but you get the Filipino, you get the Japanese. It was just a mixed culture, and some amazing people there. And I think of every now and then talking with my kids, and they'd be like, "Oh, Dad, you remember we used to go here? Or you remember we used to go there?" And really, it's the great memories that keep Lahaina alive, regardless of what has happened now, and trying to kind of engage that with different ones in the community. I feel it's important because you can see the light in their eyes when they reflect back, and then again, you should say, "Hey, uncle, auntie, we go just hang in there. We go hold on one more day." And then you see that spark come back in, to them. Is like, okay, what we gotta do. And sometimes they just, like I said, you gotta listen to them and let them know, appreciate them, understand them. And for Lahaina, it's really taking care of me and my family, and I get a lot of great memories because of Lahaina. So
Um, Talk about for a couple of moments, Lahaina or Maui has some of the greatest entertainers. There's Kalani Pea, of course. There's
yeah.
Keali'i Shell. There's Uncle Willie
Oh,
K.
yes.
Yeah. these entertainers have also meant something to you as well.
Very much so. Growing up, listening to Kelly Irai show, I've been a huge fan from way back in the day. And, fortunately now I get to share the stage and be one of the musicians in his band. And he has shared such great knowledge. I've learned so much about the music business, about just how to be within that space of music. I've learned so much from, even getting to share the stage with Uncle Willie K. Just so electrifying of a performer. He was just larger than life. And, try to honor him with his mele in my repertoire. With Kalani Pe'a, I've learned a lot from him. He's a showman. He knows how to captivate the audience, and you know, I I've learned so much, and you know, I've tried to be a sponge around them, and a lot of times it requires me just being quiet, observing, listening. I told myself that
Things we're trying to tell our kids, you know what I mean? Need to just take in.
it wasn't always that way, is what I say. At one point I had to learn that too. Just be quiet, just listen, holoi, and yeah, I realized that the time you get to spend with these people, they have such great, mana'o, such great thoughts to share, and use this to again be that vessel, that person that can share it with others, that aloha spirit. So yeah, the music is definitely alive and well through these individuals, especially that affects our Maui community. So
Even those that are from outside of the Maui community or outside of our Hawaii community that come here and become a part of it. One particular entertainer, Kino from Big Mountain,
oh boy.
we've shared stories and had him on, and we talked about him spending time down Kalapana, uh, being here in the days when Fiji was just going
Oh yeah.
crazy, and sharing all of that music, doing his own music. Um, you've even experienced working with him as well, correct?
Yes. So in regards to Kino, we were fortunate again. Someone I grew up listening to. That was in the reggae realm. They were huge inspirations. Big Mountain, and we were fortunate to do a show, and I kind of just threw it out there. It's like, hey, you want to do a song together? And brother man came right back and said, sure, brother, let me know when. And I was just like, okay. So quickly, I had thoughts of a song, and we formed a cup of aloha. But to have him share that message of aloha, it was just so key, because he has been that person to, over the years, if you see his journey, it's always been about, you know, sharing the aloha spirit through adversity that may be faced or seen wherever you may be. It's trying to keep that positive vibe alive. And then with Fiji, I don't think he hasn't influenced anybody in Hawaii and beyond. And to see what he's done with the music, I've been fortunate that I've got to share space with him for a good amount of time, over the years. And only now I start to understand what he was trying to do with his music. So again, he's a mentor to me, and what I've gained through him, I try to share with others, because you can see how he's really lifted his people. His real name he substituted with Fiji because he was carrying his people through on his musical journey. And you can see within Hawaii, within Polynesia, how everyone is kind of understanding their kuleana, within their heritage. To be definitely be proud, but be humble and share your story. Just to understand that you come from an amazing place.
As you talk and you bring up names and you share your connections with them, I sit here and smile because we share so many connections together over these years. Talk about Cup of Aloha, and specifically, I know that Kino was also involved, but talk about what it means to you.
Cup of Aloha, after the fires, you know, if you consider each person a cup, after the fires, it's like that emptied, and it was survival mode for everyone. Um, Everybody trying to figure out their situation. Some had lost the most possible. Not just property, house, cars, but even family members. Then you have those who are still intact. So you have different ends of the spectrum where they have their families together. Like for myself, I'm fortunate. I still have my family. We didn't lose our home. There was damage. But the idea behind the song is to everyone has their time as far as healing and try to refill each other's cup, one person at a time. If we can share that like a domino effect, eventually, if we can all fill up our cup with aloha, hey, we can rebuild Lahaina, we can rebuild Maui, we can rebuild Hawaii, and not just Hawaii, wherever you go, there's so much adversity and tragedy around the world. And sometimes it just takes listening, acknowledging the person and just saying, hey, love you, or just want to hug, that's important, and sometimes, it seems like, I would hear sometimes, and I'm not, I've just noticed people say, hey, no more aloha in Hawaii anymore, and it's there, but, just, it's tucked down below all of the tragedy that's happened, but, encouraging everybody to just share that aloha, and it's not easy for everybody, but if we can think of ourselves as that cup, that vessel to share that aloha, the world will be more better that way.
And sometimes we got to refill each other's cup.
Exactly, yeah.
It's been 13 years since you've recorded a couple of Aloha, and this has now become a full album.
Yes.
How do you feel about being back in the realm of recorded music?
Oh, it's nervous. It's a different day and age. It's like when Offset first came out was the age of CDs, and I don't think anybody has a CD player nowadays. But it's awesome too because I found that I have to allow myself to be vulnerable in interacting with other maybe younger artists, but they're so knowledgeable with this new age of technology and how to do music, how to share music, and I realize take each moment to pick the brains of whether you can learn from younger ones, older ones, whoever, and it's exciting to be able to create music, and this is one byproduct that I feel was came after that August 8th day. It's like I realized, okay, gotta get back into encouraged me to get back into writing music again, and yes, I'm very happy to be sharing music. I did take some time off, and I'm not blaming. It just is what it is. We had one family, and I wanted to make sure I was present there as much as possible for my family. And now they're older now, so I can kind of get back into this arena, if you will. And I'm very appreciative of all the opportunities I have.
It seems to me that all throughout your life, you've always been in a sweet spot where you've been able to gain from kupuna and you've been able to create with younger ones, whether that be music or life, or that's invigorating.
Oh yeah, and that I mean, music journey is, it's amazing. You can go. Everyone has their own journey, but the fact that music heals, and as cliche as it may seem, when you sit down and you hear one song, that it just takes you back to a certain place where, maybe back to 1995 when times were much easier then. It's like, oh, okay, and then okay, I'm ready for today now. So that yeah, music it's definitely a big part of healing and helping me as well. So
Ah, congratulations.
thank you so much, believe me.
Congratulations on the release. Much love to you and your family as Maui continues to evolve through the I think it's the best way to put it, disaster, but more through it's a disaster, and we have to help each other to lift up, all of us come up together.
Yes.
So as you continue to do that, not only much continued love and aloha to you, your family, but to also to Maui as well.
Mahalo, mahalo.
Congratulations on the new music, and go get them on the new journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, really.
Hey, if you want more information, go follow him on social media, and we'll put the links in the description in the meantime. Joshua Kahula, enough said, here in the Digital Center of Hawaii News Now.
So much. They say the world had lost a lot of its aloha. No more smiles on the faces of our brothers. So much trouble pushing down on people's shoulders. We gotta fill each other's cup with some aloha. They say the world had lost a lot of its aloha. No more smiles on the faces of our brothers. So much trouble pushing down on people's shoulders. We gotta fill each other's cup with some aloha. Look around, see we're living in a crisis. People struggling and fighting for survival. Single mothers and children being evicted. People fishing for housing and assistance. My head is spinning in a downward spiral. From all the trauma and the lies going viral. Seems the world could move it on. Feels like aloha is gone. Say the world has lost a lot of its aloha. No more smiles on the faces of our brothers. So much trouble pushing down on people's shoulders. We gotta fill each other's cup with some aloha. They say the world has lost a lot of its aloha. No more smiles on the faces of our brothers. So much trouble pushing down on people's shoulders. We gotta fill each other's cup with some aloha. Listen, kokua aku, kokua mai. Helping all the people from Maka to Makai. Eh, ke aloha nui a kakoa pau. Love and aloha for everyone. Eh, pono kako, eh ho'opono pono. Gotta make things right with your cup of aloha. Malama pono ya kakoa pau. Fill up your cup with love and aloha. Let us show the world how to show aloha. Put the smiles on the faces of our brothers. Remove the trouble pushing down on people's shoulders. We gotta fill each other's cup with some aloha. Let us show the world how to show aloha. Put the smiles on the faces of our brothers. Remove the trouble pushing down on people's shoulders. We gotta fill each other's cup with some aloha. Oh yeah. New release called Cup of Aloha.
Mahalo for listening to Island Beat. You can listen to any of these shows anytime and anywhere you go. Head to hawaiinewsnow.com/podcasts. Malamapono, aloha, a hui ho.